This is where the magic happens, baby. The magic. Trying to get a thumbnail, trying to get that thumbnail. A thumbnail. Ooh, I'm trying to be a sexy thumbnail. Hello. Welcome to my finished studio. I am so proud of this space. Like, it did not look like this before, as you shall see in this video. I had a vision for it once I realized that I was moving into my partner's space. And one of the biggest things was, look, I done spent the past 5 to 6 years living on my own, in my own apartment, not given a solitary F. I've been leaving the floor wet. I've been dancing around naked. I've been leaving dishes in the sink. I'm gonna need my own space. And he was completely on board with that because we are both air signs. He's a Gemini, I'm a Libra. We're both creatives. He's a musician. He is pretty much like the musical equivalent of me, where I'm doing a lot of things visually. He's doing a lot of things with music. Like, he does sound installation. Basically, he's another creative person who needs his own space. I'm a creative person who needs my own space. And I think it's the perfect harmony. The situation ended up perfect in a way that I never could have imagined, because the space we are in right now basically used to just be a TV den area. Like, it used to be where we would come and zonk out on the couch. There used to be a couch right here, and the TV was right there. You know, that's all it really was. It was just like a pale yellow. It was the color that everything in this house was the color of when he first moved in, and slowly been painted over the years. And yeah, it was a kind of a hot mess room. Like, it wasn't like terrible, but it was like where you put all the throwaway stuff, and yeah, it didn't really have that strong of a purpose other than being kind of like a second living room. This is the attic space. And so this is a big attic space that has basically been chopped into 3 rooms. And so this first room, this was, like I said, was just a den. Middle room used to be my partner's bedroom / studio. We both were in situations before where we were kind of living and working and creating in the same space that we slept. And we both were like so excited to not do that anymore, because while it works while it works, but after a few years of doing that, it kind of gets... There's something that is almost harder to create in the space, because it is the same place that you also associate in your head with relaxing. And then on the first end of the house, in the last room, is our bedroom, which was a whole other project, honestly, to figure out how to mix our styles and for it to really feel like a really blended bedroom. I feel like that should be another video, because I have footage of the creation of that too. So yeah, I knew from the get I wanted these orange walls. Yeah, I think you can see the yellow a little bit more. All right. You want to say goodbye to I think this is the last bit of yellow, at least inside the actual apartment of this house.
Yeah, in the inside.
Well, you've lived with the yellow the longest. Do you have any parting words for the yellow?
Fuck off. See you never.
Oh, it's like that. Okay.
I've hated it forever.
Yeah. I understand. I knew it was a risk, but I'm obsessed with, there's a brand called the Jungalow, and I have a few pieces from them. I'm going to eventually, I know, get more, but I was obsessed with them. And one thing I saw popping up on their thing over and over and over was like this corally orange kind of terracotta-esque wall. And I was like, I need to run me one of those. I just really wanted to take creative risks that I never would have taken in the past. I think in the past, because the things I'm drawn to are so loud and colorful, and the things I make are so loud and colorful, I would try and balance it out by having like white walls or whatever. And I don't know what it was about this year, but I was just like, you know what, screw that. I think that's like the expected thing to do for people. And it's okay that I like a maximalist approach. I like a lot of colors. I like a lot of patterns. I like layering things, but it could be a different type of calming. Like not everything has to be white and Scandinavian. There is definitely beauty in that aesthetic. And I think there's ways that people take it and make it their own for sure, but I don't know. I think I just got rid of the part of myself that was just like, oh, for things to be elevated, it has to be white. And in my space, I was like, I'm completely eliminated. I want color. I want color everywhere. I want all types of colors. I want color. The first thing I did was this tapestry.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that works.
I think it should be, let's see.
I have a Society 6 shop that's plugged. Go and look it up, it's in the link below. But I have a Society 6 shop and I basically made a pattern, this pattern, because I knew I wanted some sun rays. I knew I wanted a sun ray tapestry. I knew I wanted it to be in the style aesthetic that I'm currently in, where it's using these like mosaic tile layering. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that right now in my illustration work, but I am, and that's the thing that's happening. So I think the cool thing about now having the power to create my own tapestries is that once I get sick of this, I can just redraw another tapestry and buy another tapestry and basically have my own work. I'm also not one of those people who is shy about displaying my own work. If I don't like my artwork, then why would I put it out to the world for other people to like? I mean, yeah, I don't always like everything I make, which is why there's a lot of stuff that's sitting dusty that nobody has ever seen, but I basically just drew this just for the space. I didn't create this pillow just for the space, but I think it just works well with my chair. My chair is from Wayfair. It's very comfortable. I could sit in it all day. I used to have one from IKEA because my desk is from IKEA. And that was actually trash. I don't recommend. This pillow also is a pattern that I drew for a mental health clinic. It was in the first round of this work that I made for them, so they didn't end up going with this pattern, but I really loved it. So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna putting together these drawers was hell. I had to do it 3 times, but it's worth it because it's cute. Tried to do a time lapse of me putting together the video. Couldn't do it in that first night. I think we had to go on a trip or something the next day. I can't remember where we had to go, but basically I couldn't put it together until like a week later. And once I did, I don't even think I was the one who actually finished it. I think Dex finished it. Because I think I got so frustrated with the lack of instructions, like the lack of clear instructions. I'm not opening the drawers right now because it's not organized. Again, I kind of just like built everything and then just like threw things in places. I'm going to organize those drawers, those lockers. But for right now, you could just see the outside and be like, wow. Because it makes things look more organized than what it is. This rug is from Wayfair. It's a great rug. This was probably the hardest decision in the whole place. Everything else I kind of immediately was like, yes, I want that. I know exactly what color. I know exactly what plants. I have all artificial plants in here right now. I do have real plants. Downstairs is a whole actual jungalow of like real plants. But like I was saying, everything else in here, I immediately knew what I wanted, why I wanted it, where I wanted it. The rug, I knew I wanted a rug. I just didn't know what rug. I went back and forth. I finally narrowed down to this one because I felt like it did provide a nice lighter balance to the room. But I ultimately was like, okay, Leeya, everything is shouting. It would be kind of good to have something that still, has its own character and color and everything, but ultimately is one of the more muted things. because it takes up so much floor space. So I'm happy I went with that choice because I really do think that it anchors everything pretty well. I collect a lot of things. There's a lot of knickknacks. Like I said, there's stuff from the Jungalow. This vase I love from the Jungalow. God. I love elephants. That's a theme. There was this lady when I was growing up, my granddad's friend, she had a cabin that we would go out to occasionally and like fish and stuff. But the cabin was decorated with a whole bunch of hippos. And so we would call her the hippo lady. I still cannot remember this lady's name to save my life. I literally asked my granddad, like, oh, how is the hippo lady? Long story short, I turned into the hippo lady from my childhood, and I'm now the elephant lady, and I love elephants. I literally have an elephant tatted on me. I have this Michigan ornament, I think it's an ornament, from Iron Maiden, who is a friend of mine. Her name's Kristen. I have, of course, homage to Frida, homage to Beyonce, a few artworks from local artists. And over here is where I'm keeping any prints I'm currently proofing. I'm currently doing something for my 4-Hour Magic initiative. If you don't know what that is, go to 4hourmagic.com, find out. And then my closet. My closet is still a WIP, but I'm kind of really happy with where it's at right now. I originally was supposed to have the closet in my boyfriend's studio, which is a fully finished closet. It has walls. This one does not. It still was like very industrial. Like you could still see like the back or whatever. And we've just done some cover-ups over it. And I put in a rack. I found this almost a similar texture as my chair, a velvet, green velvet, curtain type material. And then over to the side, there's just like actual storage area. I have 3 bins of things. I have my summer clothes in one bin. I have my fancy wear in one bin because I'm not going nowhere. And then my hair box because I'm a black girl and I'm a black girl who can wear my own hair. So that's the story of my studio. I hope you like this video. For a girl like me who's very independent and it's my first time moving in with a partner, it's a partner who I really love and trust and everything, but I definitely was like, I've been alone for 6 years. How is this gonna work? This space for me is like a haven. Like I needed to feel some sort of ownership, especially since I was moving into his space. And I definitely feel that now. I definitely feel proud of how I was able to transform this little pocket of the house. The hardest thing I'm still figuring out is organizing my paints and all of my like art supplies and everything. They're kind of strewn about, or I just hid them in bins. But I'm sure there has to be a better way. I just don't know it. So if anybody knows it, let me know. That's the story of this price. I love it. All right, goodbye. Mm-hmm.